Alright, what's up? Alright, so first off, go to food, gas edible for person, and then your blue buy stat for everything else. You can do arcane fishbowl, but it costs like a shit ton. So just run this, it's cheaper and it's just fine. Your healer's gonna give you orbs and shit, so you're good. For pots, I just run trash pots in this build. You don't need spell pots as long as you run the same skills I do. Front bar, Mad Tinker. The trade on this is infused, but if you make it precise, you'll be better off. I just don't have any crystals at the moment. Anyway, this one gives you 2 spell crits, a spell damage, and then you have a 10% chance to summon that Fabricant. It charges forward, does 14k shock damage to all enemies in its path, knocking them down in the air and stun them for 2 seconds. Now when it hits that first person, it's going to keep going. So big trash mobs, if your tank is pulling everything together, it's like bowling. It's awesome. So this can happen every 8 seconds. So the patch notes say they took away that 10% chance, but they never did. So hopefully they'll fix that maintenance or next patch or something. I don't know. Anyway, backbar the Maelstrom Inferno staff. Maelstrom Inferno staff. It increases your light attacks and heavy attacks by 1353, while your wall of elements is down. And flame damage on your front bar, and weapon damage enchant on your back bar. Weapon damage enchant does both weapon damage and spell damage. And this is infused. It should be infused to make that spell damage higher. Now, monster set runs zaans, and then they're all divines. All 7 are divines, body pieces. And then for the rest of my body pieces, I'm running burning spell weave. You don't have to run the body pieces. I just keep 5 on this. The important thing is to keep 5 at all times, so you're burning spell weave, so it can proc off your front and back bar, and then just have your Mad Tinker proc off your front bar. This one gives you max magicka, spell damage, spell crit, and when you deal damage with a flame ability, you put the burning spell or burning status effect on them, and you get 490 more spell damage for 8 seconds with a 4-second cooldown. You subtract that 8 from that 12, that gives you 4, so it's a 4-second cooldown. Zaans, it's going to give you spell crit, and then it's going to put a beam on the enemy, 33% chance to put a beam on them. It does 2700 on the initial attack, and then over 6 seconds it increases every second by 100%. So, a lot of damage. And then jewelry is Mad Tinker. I got 3 spell damage, and then I have 3 arcane because sustain. I mean, they say 1 infused and then 2 bloodthirsty, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't lose this 2500 magicka. Okay, so character sheet. Unbuffed. This is my front bar. So for parsing, I've got just about 40k mag, and then 1450 mag recovery, and then my spell damage is right at 2300 with 54% spell crit, and then Shadow Mundus, 17% more crit damage, and then major sorcery at all times from the Inner Light. Now, skills, front bar, I'm running Elemental Weapon from the Siege line. This empowers your, I shouldn't say empower because it's buff, but it puts extra magic damage on your light attack within 2 seconds. So how this works is you hit it, and then you light attack. Now, it puts a timer on your buff sheet right there. You can see it popping up above my health. You have to light attack before that goes away, or it's useless. So this involves light attack weaving. So it increases your light attack by about 9,000 magic damage, and it puts the burning, concussion, or chilled elemental status effect on them. If you don't use it within the time limit, it gives you back about half the magic code it takes to do it. A little bit more than half. And then with this skill, there's a mechanic where you have to hit it 5 times in your rotation within 10 seconds. And it does a spell orb, which deals another like 5k magic damage. And you want to make sure to have all these passives. With it on your front bar, you get a damage shield of 5,000 when you block. So this little ball, pretty dope. It has saved my ass a couple times. Alright, so moving on, we have Haunting Curse. This is the curse. You hit it, it lasts for 12 seconds. When it explodes the second time, you do it again. Keep this up all the time. Regeneration, another dot, lasts for 12 seconds. The Major Sorcery lasts for 24 seconds. So, you only have to hit this every other rotation, just like your Crit Surge. This build that I have going right now has 0 healing whatsoever. So, you can put Crit Surge, does that Major Sorcery, and it heals you for 3,300 every time you crit. So you can put that on your bar instead of Degeneration. This one just does more damage. Typically you'll want to run Crit Surge, but for parsing I run this because I'm a cheater. Sue me. Alright, so Inner Light. This is giving me my Major Prophecy at all times, and it increases my max magic by 5%. And then the Summon Charge Atronach. This guy does a fuck ton of damage for 21 seconds, and anyone who hits him, the only person who hits the synergy, they get Major Berserk, and they give the Atronach Major Berserk, which increases yours and the Atronach's damage by 25% for 8 seconds. So, yeah, pretty good. Alright, so backbar, got Barb Trap for minor force and sustain. Lightning Flood. This is a AoE dot, lasts for 10 seconds, does shock damage, and then your allies can hit Conduit, and it does a lot more damage. This is your Wall of Elements. This is a Wall of Fire. You can run the other morph for more time. It adds 2 seconds to it, and it makes it wider, increases the area. This is what keeps your Maelstrom Staff buffing your light attacks and your heavy attacks. And it also procs your spell damage buff on your backbar weapon. And then whenever they get hit with that burning spell weave procs, you can proc off this. So this procs off burning spell weave a lot. And then burning enemies take 20% more damage, so they're always going to be burned because of this. And then Sculling Rune. This is another flame damage one. This one also procs your running spell leaf. I mean, you're running two inferno staffs, so every light attack could proc burning spell leaf. So I mean, that's why I run it. It's crazy. But this does a lot of damage. This is also a flex spot. You could run something else for sustain here, or like survivability. You could run the hardened ward here, and this is going to give you a pretty good damage shield, 60% of your max health. And then you could also run where's that? Ballast Storm. Ballast Storm pretty much gives you major resolve, so it's going to raise your resistances. It also does damage. It's not much damage, but it does do damage. And then you get Major Expedition for 4 seconds whenever you cast it. So it's nice. It doesn't do as much damage as the Scalding Rune, but to survive this with Crit Surge, I mean, you're never going to die. That's pretty good setup. And then Inner Light again, double bar Inner Light. I put them on the same skill or same button, so I just never hit R1. But I mean, everybody's different. I just tend to put them on the same bar or same button. And then Shooting Star. Shooting Star is there for the passive, so I'm getting this is 3 Mages Guild skills right here, and then this is 3 as well right here. So if you look at the Mages Guild, yeah, increase your max magicka and magic recovery by 2% for each Mages Guild ability slotted. So I get 4% on my front bar. Oh yeah, the ultimate isn't Mages, duh. But I'm running 2 on here and then 4 or 3 on this one. So I got 6% bonus on this one, and then a 4% bonus on the front bar. Now, when you change that to Crit Surge, and you change your back bar to whatever, shield or your Bound the Storm, whatever, these are going to drop 2% on both of them. But it's okay, still good. But that's why we run the Shooting Star. That's the only reason why you run it, is just for that buff from Mages Guild. And then it is really fun to use. It's not good in trials unless you're fighting trash, because this is an incredible buff for one person to use their ultimate. And then it does a lot of damage too. So yeah, so that's my bar setup. And then champion points, the blue, 66 in Elfborn, 64 in Elemental Expert, 10 in Spell Erosion, 23 in Staff Expert, 73 in Master at Arms, and 34 in Thaumaturge. Alright, so rotation is you drop your rune and your trap same time, and then you start light attack weaving. Drop your wall of elements, lightning flood, switch bars, degeneration, your curse, haunting curse, drop ulti, and then hit early weapon 3 times, switch bars, start over. And then when you get back to this bar after you start over, you hit early weapon twice. And then 3 times, and then 2 times, and then 3 times, and then 2 times. So, there we go. Yeah, sustain this shit. Just use your pots as needed. But, I mean, without a pot, I got them 50%. No, they drain. There you go.